is Anastasia with One Cosmic Heart, and I was just inspired to do a quick little live. Um, it's funny, I did something yesterday, and it was titled, um, you know, it was about triggers and what's triggering people right now and how to use it for healing. And interestingly enough, I there was something that's been triggering me. Not so much from the outside, just my own inner thoughts. And I thought, oh, that's pretty hilarious. And it's a topic that I have visited many times in my head. And I actually wrote something a couple months ago on this and I posted it on Facebook. So it came up again today, really big in my face. And maybe some of you can relate to it or something similar. So I just wanted to pretty much share my process in the hopes that it will help some other people. Um, and the trigger was um, me posting things on Facebook. And, you know, if I were to use Shakespeare's question to post or not to post, um, and when to post, do I add my own opinions and comments or do I just post it and let other people decide, which obviously they're going to do anyway, but I'm kind of I'm pretty much torturing myself to post, not to post, to write something about it, not to write something about it. I don't think a lot of people spend too much time about it, but what's happening inside of me is when I post things that are controversial, um, is it offending people? Is it triggering them, which is really out of my control? I have no control if it's triggering something in someone. Um, and when I post, it's never meant with any malicious intention. It's always I'm posting something that is either inspiring to me or something that's thought provoking or something that has taught me something and wanting it to share with other people. But now, times are really interesting on the planet. So there's a lot of information out there, and there's definitely things that I believe in that a lot of other people don't, which is fine. I'm okay with people not believing what I believe, totally okay with that. I think what's triggering me is, oh my gosh, am I offending people? I mean, to be honest, like, am I going to lose friends over posting certain things, which again is out of my control? I have no control over that. I have no control of what people think of me. And even going deeper is like if I haven't had a really personal and detailed conversation with someone, I don't know what their thoughts are on what I post. And I kept hearing this like little inner voice saying, well, what does it matter what other people think, right? Like there are people that see your posts that you're close with. There are people that may see your posts that you haven't spoken to in 20 years. There are people that are going to kind of stumble on your page that you don't even know. Um, so this little voice I was having this like conversation inside of my head with all my little different people in there, like the judge, the critic, the supporter, the victim, all the little characters running around in my head. And it just kept saying, whose whose opinion of you matters? Somebody you haven't seen in 20 years or your opinion of yourself? You know, does your truth matter more or does somebody's opinion of your truth matter more? And I was like, whoa, all right. And like I said, this is a topic that I have a path that I've walked down many, many, many times. And I mentioned this yesterday, which is interesting that it's sort of tying into yesterday's live, is that I went like another layer deeper. Like if you think of the spiral, I went down or up the spiral or peeled another layer off the onion. It was like just another like aha, like whose opinion matters more? Somebody else's opinion of me or my own? And um, I had to sit with it for a while because really my own opinion matters more. But from the way that I have historically reacted, I give my power away. And I feel like, oh, somebody's opinion of me matters more than my own opinion, or what they think of me has now changed. So what does that say about me? I mean, again, I'm not in control of any of that stuff. Um, and some years ago, I knew someone, and she kept saying it was like a phrase that she would say, which was very interesting. Um, what you think about me is none of my business. Like what your neighbor thinks of you is none of your business, right? What the thoughts in their head. So it was interesting to hear that over and over and over again, and I really, um, what I don't know what the word is. I really like marinated with it. I was like, yeah, hmm, what other people think of me is not my business. That's their business. It becomes my business when they bring it up and whatever we have a conversation, but what other people think of me is not my business, and my perception of what they think of me. So, what I think they're thinking, which is a hello, catch 22 rabbit hole, that's none of my business. What I think you think of me, crazy, right? So, I might say something, and somebody might have a reaction that comes over their face because they're remembering something else from their past, and immediately I might go, oh wow, I shouldn't have said that, or I wonder what they're thinking now, when in reality they're probably remembering something from their past that's jogging something in them. It has nothing to do with me. It's really interesting stuff. So I just wanted to share that. I'm being reminded of a book, and I'm trying to think. Oh gosh, it's The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, I think, and he does have something in there, and I can't remember the four agreements off the top of my head, but I think one of them applies to this kind of like, I'm sorry that I'm kind of blanking, but I'm going to look that up after I get off because there's something about his work that is like, be honest, like just be true to you, kind of be true to you, and oh, I'm remembering something about like not caring what other people think, but he said it in different words. So kind of like what you, yeah, similar to like what you think of me is none of my business. So I think that I'm referencing the right author and the right book. It's a great book. The Four Agreements, simple but very, very, very deep. So just wanted to share that. I'm still processing. I'm still like uh, diving into that and seeing where that takes me. But it is a topic that's touching on my self esteem and my self worth and what other people think of me. And I mean, like I said, I'm not in control of that. Um, but what whose opinion matters most is mine. What do I think of myself? When I go to bed at night, do I feel okay with what I've done and said and thought? Can I put my head down on my pillow and feel at ease and at peace that I haven't harmed anyone? And yes, because that's never my intention. So if something I say or do triggers somebody, again, it's not with any malintention. But the most important thing that's been brought to my awareness is what I think of myself, and that is a huge topic. So um, yeah, I'm just gonna go in and do some self care and some self love around that, and just know that what I think and feel about myself is ultimately the most important thing. And I need to be strong in what I believe. And that doesn't mean that my beliefs don't change over time because they absolutely do. Um, but it's really about like, can you stand in your truth? Can you say something, feel something, share something, and just know that it's your truth and not, nobody has to agree with you. Nobody has to jump on, your bandwagon. but just knowing that it is your truth and it's okay to feel those things and think those things and say those things. So I hope that this um, maybe has helped someone and on your journey and where you are. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop something in the comments. That's it. I'm going to keep it short for today and hope everyone has a great and blessed day. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.